Experience all the luxury and comfort of Virgin Australia's new business class aboard the coast-to-coast Airbus A330 service, now flying between Sydney and Perth.
Well, the word dishonesty or lie seems to be part of the lexicon, or telling a lie. It's never had such prominence in the political world of this country as it has today. I spoke earlier today about the dishonesty of the carbon tax advertising campaign. We weren't told, we know we're paying 25 million for them, we weren't told that the companies that feature in that campaign have all been beneficiaries of handouts from the Gillard government. And that was not stated in the advertising. If it was anybody else, you'd be prosecuted for not telling the truth. Why wasn't all this disclosed by the government in the ads, which began on Sunday night? In other words, these companies have been looked after by the Gillard government, and now they're looking after Julia. It's called dishonesty. Well, let me give you an example of this. It is just one today. Renewable energy. Now, the Greens would argue that all energy, these are serious issues, should come from renewable sources. That's the sun, the wind. They never talk about nuclear. But the government's own Australian Energy Market Commission, its own energy advisor, has said if we go down the track of renewable energy, household electricity bills will skyrocket by more than 30% by mid-2013. In other words, it's just hopelessly expensive compared to coal-fired power. Increased by up to 30%. This is the government's own energy advisor, the Australian Energy Market Commission, has said the cost of the renewable energy target, which provides, as you know, subsidises rooftop solar schemes, subsidises wind farms, the cost of those, so says the government's own energy advisor, will explode by 360% over the 3 years to June 2013. Then you've got the so-called Clean Energy Finance Corporation, which is going to take your money to fund green power projects. 10 billion of your money over 5 years, 20 billion over 10, 100 billion by 2050. But the Productivity Commission has advised the government to scrap renewable energy subsidies. But Julia Gillard wants to spend 100 billion of your money on them by 2050. The Australian Energy Market Commission, it's the government's chief advisor on energy, says if we go down the renewable target, business will have trouble securing adequate energy supply contracts to power its operations. More than 80% of our energy is produced from coal-fired power. We can never replace that, and it's our competitive advantage. Now, let me give you an example. The world's largest solar power station is the Sarnia plant in Canada. Built at a cost of more than $400 million, solar, it has an output of about 120,000 megawatt hours a year. It covers 380 hectares, equivalent to 500 football fields. In comparison, our Bayswater 1 coal-fired power station, Bayswater, generates about 17 million megawatt hours a year, not 120,000. 17 million Bayswater. So to replace Bayswater, coal-fired, with solar power, as Julia Gillard and that Bob Brown want you to do, you need to build no fewer than 140 solar plants equivalent to the Sarnia plant, which is the world's biggest. The money required to build those solar plants to replace the Bayswater coal-fired power station, that's just one, would be upwards of $50 billion. And you need to find land the equivalent size of 70,000 football fields. And this would produce electricity at a feed-in cost of over 40 cents a kilowatt, so the retail price would be about 60 cents a kilowatt. So a household using electricity from coal-fired power might have, say, an annual bill of $3,000. Using solar power, the bill will be over $14,000 a year. But even then, no power is generated at night or on overcast days, so if you want to have power at night or on overcast days, you'll need other sources. And this would send the country bankrupt. To say that we can meet our energy needs with renewable sources, and to say that taxpayers, you, must subsidise these sources for them to be competitive, is economic vandalism of the worst kind, and another monumental untruth being propagated by the Gillard government. The whole notion of renewable energy is an utter delusion.